Okay, guys, I am going to go through the first couple of instructions for the Dreamweaver uh, GCSE test that we went over in class, the first one. So it's this one here, the Goa thing. I'm going to jump straight through to creating a new folder because this is just setting up your Word document to put your evidence, which is pretty easy. And in order to save time, have a concise video, we'll just jump straight to these instructions. Task 2, creating the web page. So I've already downloaded my files. I've put them in a folder here called video, okay? And the first instruction, it says that I want to create a new folder called M17 HTML and then put all of these files in there. So that's what I'm going to do. Create this folder here, new folder, M17. Oops, sorry, I got to put my keyboard over to this, English, M17 GES.htm. And just to confirm, these first instructions are so important because if you don't get everything right, if everything's not in the same folder, if you don't create the site and the HTML web page properly, the whole thing won't work. So it's really important that you get these steps correct first. So yeah, step 1 is just create this folder here, M17GES, and then I want to put all of these JPEGs and a style sheet file into that folder there. Okay, so great, I can see this. They're all there, which is wonderful. Now, what I like to do is make sure that you can view the icons as pictures. So I keep it on large icons, and you'll see why. As we start to actually build the website, there's a couple of instructions where they don't refer to the name of the JPEG file. They'll just say, hey, put the file that has a picture of people riding on an elephant. So if you've got it in view large icons, when you actually start doing the test, you're going to save yourself some time by having it in this format here, because it will also show you the name of the JPEG files. Okay, so let's go on then. Now, we actually start to need building the site that we have. So we go into Dreamweaver. Okay. This is my one that I was creating in class for you guys. So we're going to go to a new one now. Okay, so once we've created that folder, we put all the JPEGs in it. Now we actually have to create the site, okay? That's not in the instructions. It doesn't say in the test instructions, create a new site anywhere in here. You just have to know that, and it's a very important step. Otherwise, nothing's going to link together. So when I create a new site, I'm basically creating the glue that's going to hold my whole web page together. So I'm going to create a new site, okay? I can name this site name anything I want, okay? I'm going to name it video. Named anything like that before. If I have a similar site name, it'll give me an error, so I know that's unique. Now, I'm going to go to the folder where everything is kept. Like I said, I went on desktop and I put everything in a folder called video. And now I'm going to connect my new site to this folder here, and I select folder, boom. Now everything should be saved. Great, and now I know my site is connected to this folder, and I've got all my files that I'll need here for that, okay? Now I want to create a new web page, okay? That's where I go up to here. So now I'm going to create a new web page. My browser is actually going to be able to see what I'm creating, okay? So I go to File, New. By default, it selects HTML, all right? And they tell us to create a new web page called, new web page called M17GES.htm. So I will do that there. M17GES.htm. Okay, I'm going to hit create. Boom. Wonderful. Okay, so now I know that I've created a new site. I've got all my files that I'm going to start to manipulate here, and I'm good to go. You also need to make certain that you are in split screen, because here's my code here, and as you'll see when I start building the website, I can see a visual representation of that up here. You also want to make sure that you are in design mode, not live. By default, I believe it's in design, but on test day or whatever we're doing, make sure that you're in design, okay? So everything's good. I can start going now. All right, now, as we did in class, the first thing we want to do is build a table. We want to have a table that looks like this, okay? Very, very important for the test. The basic structure of the test is they'll have you build a table, fill it with JPEG images, and do all sorts of different little things to that. Then they'll also have you do and work on a CSS folder, and the instructions for that are further down here. Yep. And as you can see, the CSS file that we're going to work on is right here. We're not going to worry about that for now because that's later on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is create the table. And that'll probably end this part of it because that's as far as we got in class. And then we'll go on to some other instructions in the test. So I want to create a table as they show me in this instruction. So it's got to be, I know it's got to be at least 900 pixels wide, and it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and at least 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Okay, so in order to create a table, very simple. Insert table. Okay, now in this here, it will tell me I can select how many rows do I want, how many columns. By default, it selects whatever you've done the last time. So we were working on this the last time in class. So by default, it's already given me what I need. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Great. I need a table width of 900 pixels. And I also need, in the instructions, it says, table borders, letters, and dimensions shown in the table must not appear on your final web page. So, like I said, important to read the instructions before you go on because it'll save you time. So border thickness, I'm going to select that to 0 because I don't want to see any table border. They say nothing about cell padding and cell spacing, so I'm going to save that to nothing as well. Okay, so I'll select OK. Great. Here I've got my table. Now, I want to do some things to it. I want to make it look like this. Okay, so all those dimensions, let's go through that. So the first thing I do is I go to my first row, click on it, make sure that it's all selected. And once I'm in there, double click, table, merge cells. Perfect, okay? Like I said, I like to then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to go to the bottom, okay? Simply because of the way it works. It tends to sandwich things in. So if I sandwich all my table rows in this way, it's visually easier for me to see. So once again, I go to table, select table, merge cells. Great, okay? So the first and the second row are also going to be merged, and my last row. Okay, so go to table, merge cells. Perfect, okay? Now, I want to manipulate the heights of those cells, okay? I do that, and I will show you that in the second video, okay?